You don't need pants for the victory dance, 'cause Baboon's better than Weasel. IR Baboon makes star platoon. I am Weasel. And that's what we're going to talk about in this segment of, well, talk. This is the I Am Weasel Talk. Get your butt cheeks ready and make sure you have your nostalgia brain switched on because we're going down memory lane with this one. You already know how it goes. We'll talk about the characters and then the show itself. This is one of those non-linear shows, so it's not going to be too long or complex, but then again, you can see that as soon as you click on this video, so let's get down to it. First off, we have Weasel, who is I Am Weasel. He's the hero of the people, always doing what's right, always helping wherever he can, and in every way possible. Literally. He can build entire cities to help you out. His first adventure in the show was to build a bridge that would connect USA and France. I don't know how that would work, but it was meant to. But then, of course, Baboon messed it up as usual. Weasel is a selfless guy, always working for the good of mankind, doing whatever it takes to help, and it more often, if not always, leads to him helping Baboon out of his messed up situations. He's skilled in pretty much anything that resolving the issues that are brought up in the episodes. Except, of course, speaking idiot. Yeah, there was an episode about that where only Baboon could speak idiot with an idiot they discovered called Fred. Yeah, the show is very random most of the time. Then we have IR Baboon. If you don't know from his name, Baboon is an idiot. He's a big butt-cheeked simian who acts as a foil to I Am Weasel's heroics. A lot of the time, he causes or worsens the problems which need Weasel's interference in the first place. He's jealous of Weasel's success and popularity and often tries to upstage him with bad results. Although there's an episode where he steals Weasel's girl. Yeah, who knew that could happen? Throughout the show, Baboon's influence grows on the world and eventually he manages to lower the world's IQ with a book he wrote called A True Story. Or is it A Tree Story? I might have to look back on that one. And it seemed that even though this show has a non-linear storytelling style, the people's IQ was lowered for the rest of the show. It wasn't as bad as in that episode, of course, but it was very much lower. Baboon is selfish, pathetic, illiterate, and can't ride a bike even though he's 40. And he loves to do his victory dance. He just puts his hands on his hips and prances around with his chest out. He just celebrates pretty much anything he does. Really simple-minded guy. It also took him a lot of seasons to realize that he can make wishes on his paw, which is a monkey's paw. Really weird stuff they had going on there, but yep, it only happened in one episode though. Then we have the red guy, who takes over as the villain of the show when Baboon starts becoming more of a pathetic guy than a villain. He was inserted after Cow and Chicken was cancelled. If you watched our Cow and Chicken video, you'll know all about him. He hasn't changed at all. He's still a con man and brings about chaos, even unnecessarily. And yes, he is the actual freaking devil in a kid's show. The only other consistent character is Lulabelle, Weasel's girlfriend. Sometimes. I believe the last time we see her is the episode when Baboon stole her from Weasel. Like, seriously? How? She doesn't do much. She just assists Weasel a lot of the time and doesn't have much going on. Yeah, that's it. So, on to the show itself. I Am Weasel was a good show full of innocent fun and gags. It made use of slapstick humor, just like Cow and Chicken, having characters suffer heinous injuries for laughs, and a lot of the time, it is funny. I didn't enjoy it much as a kid, but now as an adult, I have a newfound appreciation for it. It became overplayed at some point, especially when shows like Samurai Jack started coming up, showing a bit more linear storytelling with a point to it. I Am Weasel was just a random sequence of events put together in an episodic nature. You have one episode where the whole world becomes plant life, and in the next one, everything is fine. You have an episode where Weasel and Baboon are Batman and Robin, and in the next one, it's all back to normal. It's not a bad thing, it's cool to have it like that, especially since serialized shows weren't really a thing back then. But then again, even if it were a thing, this is just slapstick comedy. The show doesn't really hold back on jokes and never takes things too far or too seriously. People watching it today won't find anything dated aside from the type of humor that's used. It's a show that does actually age well. It's funny how Baboon keeps calling women Mr. or Sir, too. Sometimes the show has emotional episodes, like when Weasel befriended a sentient banana. One should know that bananas mature and rot very quickly, so he didn't have much time around and grew old very quickly. Of course, the episode ended with Weasel and Baboon eating him in a banana split. Yeah, seriously. That's a bit grim there, David Weiss. But then, the most surprising thing is that the show's finale had Weasel finding out that he's not the main attraction, that it's actually Baboon. And his last words in the show are that he's a fraud. Way to go there, guys. You just ended this weird show weirdly. All in all, it was a nice little twist in the end, seeing as it's probably based on fan reactions. I used to hate Baboon as a kid, but I now get why people would love him. The show made use of fan reactions and incorporated them into its work. And instead of telling us that it was all part of the grand design, it just makes use of fan reactions and tells us cleverly that it's all about what fans said. That's how you do it, pal. Thank you, David Weiss, for showing us how to make use of fan reactions and incorporate them into your work. Anyway, the show ended after 5 seasons and was very successful in its time, but had to finish eventually. Just like this video has to end as well. It's not too long like the others, but we hope we got the message through. Please check out our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and our website. And don't forget to subscribe here and leave a comment on the video. See you around.
Why little girl have beard?
Well, my mom was a lady and my dad was a man.
Holy shit! The show was onto something.